Today we will be talking about sewing darts. Darts are most often a triangular shape or a double-ended triangular shape sewn into a flat piece of cloth to create a closer fit. I have copied a commercial pattern onto a piece of industrial or garment industry pattern drafting paper, which is called dot paper. Commercial patterns are usually drawn out so that you will see the seam allowance with a drill hole or a circle on each side of the seam allowance where it intersects the dart sewing line. There is also usually a circle at the end of the dart. These lines on the dart are called the dart legs. The fabric contained within the dart is called the dart take-up, and the point where we will stop sewing is called the vanishing point. Before I cut this out, I used an awl to poke a hole in my pattern. There are many ways to mark the dart on your fabric. In this case, I have borrowed from couture sewing and from the industry. I have snipped the end of my pattern within the seam allowance to tell me where the dart leg will be. I have also, here at the vanishing point, I'm going to borrow from couture and I'm going to make a tailor tack. I have a double piece of thread on a hand sewing needle. I'm going to sew through the vanishing point, leaving a tail. Then I will sew again, leaving a loop. Once I have completed the loop, I can snip the thread, leaving a tail on the other side. Be careful that your loop is shorter than the two tails. I will remove the pins, remove the pattern, and then separate the two pieces of fabric, pulling gently on the thread. Snip in the middle. Now both pieces of my garment have been matched equally. Next, to help me be able to make sure I sew my dart correctly, I'm going to very lightly mark the sewing lines on the inside of my fabric. There are many different products that you can use to mark these lines: chalk, disappearing pens, Prisma pencils, and a regular pencil. Be sure that whatever you use does not come out on the right side of your fabric. I'm going to take my ruler, match with the little snip ends and my vanishing point, and very lightly draw my sewing line on my fabric. Dart legs. Next, I will fold the right sides together and carefully pin and match these two sewing lines. I am ready to sew. Another marking procedure for darts is the way they do it in the garment industry. This one hurts a little bit. In the industry, they do not mark the vanishing point. They mark a ½ inch inside of the vanishing point of the dart. If you would like to try this, this is how you would do it. I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch inside of the vanishing point and dot my pattern. I have placed the dot in the middle of the 2 dart legs. Next, I will take my awl and I will poke through that hole, through my pattern and my fabric. And then I can draw my dart legs on exactly the same way that I did the other ones. First, I will find my notches, measure a 1/2 inch beyond the drill hole, and lightly mark one side. Fold so that the drill hole or the awl punch is on the fold, and match the notches at the end. When I sew, I will stop a 1/2 inch beyond that drill hole. This will enclose the hole that I made in the fabric inside of the dart, and there will be no hole in your garment.